Today's movie has a Spanish filmmaker directing a movie about German zombies. Yeah, sure. Why not? Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka The Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Jess Franco's Walking Dead film, Oasis of the Zombies. Released in 1982, Oasis of the Zombies has everything you'd expect from a Franco film. Sex, violence, continuity errors, and terrible dialogue. It's a veritable primer on everything that makes Franco's films so terrible and so amazing. Really, this one is magical. Trust me. But can Franco raise enough flesh-craving corpses to earn the coveted 5 barf bag rating? Let's get to the gore and find out. Oh, and before we get started, today's video is sponsored by patrons Charlotte Greenwell, Shannon, and Caitlin D. If you'd like to sponsor some videos and help free me from YouTube's tyranny, you'll find a link to my Patreon in the pinned comment and description below. And now, let's get bloody. We fade in on Roxy and Archibald Jr. on their latest EGA hunt. Oh, starting right off with an MST3K joke. That's promising. This looks suspiciously like the same set where Anthony Wong assaulted that tribal lady in Ebola syndrome. Ah, look, they're driving a Suzuki Samurai. Clearly Franco didn't blow the budget of this movie on the vehicles. I guess Waze was down since they're consulting a map for directions. Then they make the always wise decision to go for a walk.
It'll give us a chance to stretch our legs a bit.
And it'll give the crew a chance to film it. 3 hours later, they're still walking as the crew pans down to a better movie? Man, this music is amazing. I feel like I'm watching Chiller Theater. They're still walking like they're on the way to Mordor. It'd be a shame if they came upon some... Oh, get ready for some jackboots. All these buns have me convinced this film was shot in a bakery. It's like a Seymour Butts movie up in here. This really is a masterclass in filmmaking. Reaction shots, weird zooms, and a soundtrack that could have been composed on a Casio keyboard down at the piano store in the mall.
There must have been a battle here. Rommel's legions against Monkey's horny Highlanders.
Oh hey, it's Charlotte. One random girl has had enough and flees, but halfway there, the prairie dogs get a little handsy. And then Jess Franco demonstrates how to violate someone's personal space. And abrupt cut to the credits. That transition was so jarring, I think I need to consult a personal injury attorney about whiplash. I will say, I like that they just put the credits over an out-of-focus photo, though. That's the kind of attention to detail you get in a Jess Franco film. Ah yes, directed by A.M. Frank, aka Jess Franco pretending he's American. Continuity? In a Jess Franco movie? I admire the optimism, I guess. Back in the movie, we join Ernest Hemingway and Karen Carpenter, already in progress. He's sort of like a chubby Lee Marvin with a Charles Bronson stash grafted onto his face. We head inside and holy shit, it's a real-life version of Nigel Thornberry. This must be from Nickelodeon's ill-fated foray into exploitation films for children.
That was smashing!
Papa Hemingway is here to pitch his new book idea. I call it The Old Man and the Oasis of the Zombies. It's just a tentative title. Oh wait, he's just doling out exposition.
On November 15th, 1943, a special commando escorted $6 million in gold. A convoy left in the direction of Alaguat Harbor.
Nigel's like, I don't know, Ernie, that sounds pretty cliche.
Of course, you're aware there's a legend. The ghosts of your soldiers still stand guard over the treasure.
Man, this movie's gonna be fun if they ever leave this room. Turns out Nigel is the only person that knows where the treasure is. But just as he shares the location, Ernest stabs him. I don't think that's what they meant by poison pen. With the location of the gold revealed, Ernest mounts up for some Jess Franco adventure. He's literally the saddest Indiana Jones ripoff ever. More like Delaware Jones, if we're being honest. With the map acquired, Papa Hemingway is in a rush to get drinks. Happy hour starts in 5 minutes. And since things might have been about to get exciting, let's hop over to another movie in London. Nigel's son Donnie is about to get some bad news.
There's a telegram for you. Here.
It's my father.
Bad news?
He's dead.
Well, I guess I'm free for Christmas break now. And I guess Franco couldn't afford a transition here, so here's that title still again. Over in Africa, Donnie Thornberry pads the runtime by reading to himself on camera. It appears he's checking out For Whom the Bell Tolls. Hell yeah! No, not the Metallica song. And now he's watching Patton. This is great. Is George C. Scott gonna show up and start yelling at us? Not gonna lie, I wish George C. Scott were yelling at me right now. Hey, Carl, do you know what day it is? It's Hump Day. Turns out this is a flashback to Nigel's adventure at the zombie oasis. Are those short standard issue? He's here to check in on Budget Cat Stevens, who informs him morning has broken.
Both my boys are dead.
And time for stock footage. Rommel and the 7th Panzer Division are on the move. I don't think you should be pointing the cannon right at your own men. And the German marauders have shown up at the Oasis too. And the trap is sprung. I can't help but notice that this appears to be footage from a completely different movie. Recycling is important. Now that the battle is over, Nigel heads off in search of some droids and Ben Kenobi. And he rehearses for his Jackass audition. I'm Nigel Thornberry. Welcome to Jackass. After being thoroughly embarrassed by Sand, he's rescued by a band of locals. Hopefully they're not the Tusken Raiders. I mean, they're traveling in single file to hide their numbers. Refreshed by 4 weeks of bed rest, Nigel and his sweet mullet are ready to get this movie rolling. Hopefully. But first, he has to go horn dog over this young nurse.
Thanks to you, and to that angel of mercy. I wouldn't be alive but for her care.
Here he is, drawing her like one of his French girls. Wait, this is his drawing? Let's ask Ian Sarah what he thinks of this art.
It stinks.
Like, what's even going on with her eyes and her lips? Did her mom eat paint chips while she was pregnant or what? Later, he and the Sheik have drinks while stock footage planes fly overhead. Maverick! Well, I think I just figured out where the inspiration for the eyes in his crappy drawing came from, at least. And nothing says exciting first date like a walk across the desert. As payment for that beautiful sketch, Nigel's nurse decides to channel her inner Marvin Gaye and give him a little sexual healing. You're gonna get sand in places you do not want to get sand. Also, do you kids even remember Marvin Gaye? Christ, I'm old. After the makeout sesh, Nigel returns to the front to fight some more stock footage war. But on his first shore leave, he heads back to find out his girl died giving birth to Donnie. Look at Nigel's face. It's like he's swearing a blood oath against the kid. Back in the present day, Donnie has a $6 million idea.
The German convoy been transferring gold out of the country.
And you think the gold lies buried in that oasis?
I think so.
He's gonna take his friends out to find the treasure. I'm sure this will end well. But before they can go, everyone gathers around for a story.
Let's go check it out right now before I change my mind. Exams don't stand a chance against $6 million.
Unfortunately for Donnie and crew, Ernest and Karen have already reached the Oasis. Will they get away with the gold so early in the film? All depends on how much Franco can pad this scene. I will say, I love the framing of this scene. Really great work, Franco. They set up camp and decide to go to bed in broad daylight?
Let's get some sleep. We've got our work cut out for us tomorrow.
And these guys are plotting a double cross.
Let's walk around a bit.
You don't walk around here in the middle of the night.
Well, good thing it's broad daylight. Does Franco think this is a radio show or what? While Ernest and Karen get a little shut-eye in mid-afternoon, their shirtless assistants go off to find the gold on their own. I have the feeling they're going to get a lot more than gold. And I was right. 36 minutes in, we finally sort of get a zombie. And now assistant number 2 is about to get triple teamed.
Hell yeah.
No, not like that, you pervs. I mean, he's gonna get killed by 3 zombies at once. With the assistants dead, our zombie club descends on Ernest and Karen. Do they have enough bullets to fend them off?
Remember, me, turn! Stop, I say!
Karen winds up a hot lunch. Look at it this way, that's one less cut of the $6 million. Chubby Lee Marvin makes a break for it. Maybe he can drive us into the next act. I can't show you this, but it's hilarious the zombies basically rip Karen's clothes off to eat her. Franco's gonna Franco. This guy looks shocked by the carnage. Oh my God! Back in our other movie, we're treated to a full 5 minutes of padding. Then Donnie and his mates make some friends. We've got a blonde and a couple of film nerds. This should round out the body count nicely. Then, through the magic of lazy plotting, Donnie is led straight to his father's killer, who is totally stressing over his near death at the Oasis. Man, this militant alternate universe Bob Ross is definitely not painting any happy little trees. Ernest, meanwhile, is dead on his feet. He must be tired because now he's taking a roll in the hay. I really admire the restraint of this performance. Very subtle and nuanced. Before Ernest can write Death in the Afternoon, Donnie tries to get some MapQuest directions to the treasure. Later, everyone gathers for some smoked Hemingway. He goes great with potatoes. Meanwhile, angry Bob Ross looks like he's about to spit the meanest 16 bars you've ever heard.
The damned must burn in holy fire or they will come back to life.
Before they head off to the Oasis, Donnie decides to stop by the palace where he was born. This is just more runtime padding if we're being honest.
You are Aisha's son, and my gift to your father.
Man, this organ really makes this feel like a soap opera. Come on, movie, I came for Zombie Oasis, not Days of Our Lives. After a lot of jibber-jabber, Donnie Thornberry drives off into the desert in search of the elusive third act. And they eventually find it. I love that the wind sound effects sound like a hurricane, but the trees are barely moving. Must be a demon wind. And of course, they split up the search.
Better hurry, it gets dark early.
Yeah, it gets dark in the middle of the day. It's like it's always mid-afternoon around here. And finally, our main characters, as far as I can tell, have made it to the titular zombie oasis. Will they all die, or will Jess Franco pad out the rest of the movie with each of them wandering around slowly in pairs? Let's watch and find out. Turns out the other group of explorers have already shown up here and died. It would have been nice if Franco had showed any of those deaths to us. Bowl-cut Luke Skywalker finds his lady friend. This was no boating accident. Man, this new Gravediggers album sucks. I like that Budget Skywalker and Discount Eugene Levy and Hafez have time to yuck it up. I mean, there are dead people and zombies, but you can't take life too seriously. Somehow, the blonde from earlier survived the zombie attack, and she's ready to do some nagging.
You don't believe me, do you? And you never will.
Sure we believe you. We'll dig in the daytime.
Oh good, more digging. Franco's probably just gonna pad the last 20 minutes of the movie with this. And as night sets over Tatooine, we're left to wonder, do these people need the Empire, or are they better off alone? Oh, sorry, I was injecting a better story into this one. Seriously, when are 3PO and R2 gonna come over that dune? I like the theatrical cut of A New Hope a lot more than this. Meanwhile, this guy's like, nothing's happened for an hour, I guess I might as well take a smoke break. And now, as nightfall sets in, our zombies finally wake up. There's still 16 minutes left, though. I bet they're gonna milk their awakening as much as possible. You know what, movie? Take all the time you want. I'm already 70 minutes into this shit, and I'm not leaving now. Not gonna lie, I feel like Franco was just shouting, slower and less intense, in every scene. Ah, so glad you could join us, zombies. Now could you maybe eat some people? Looks like Budget Dustin Hoffman is first. Guess he won't get to be the graduate after all. And to be fair, that's what he gets for wearing white after Labor Day. Hey, where'd all these zombies come from? Why am I only seeing them in the last 10 minutes of the movie? Damn you, Franco. And as they meander into the climax, surely our leads have a good plan.
Fire's the only thing that stops them. We've got to hold out till dawn.
Dawn? It's already mid-afternoon. This is like Gray Filter 2 p.m. As the dead draw ever closer, the question remains, will anything happen before Franco runs out of film?
Let's get some bottles and make Molotov cocktails, like at school.
I guess I missed Molotov cocktail class at college. Hey, movie, where are these zombies in relation to the cast? Are they close? Are they still a few highway exits away? The one time I actually need an establishing shot? Nada. Now that the fire has been lit, I'd like to say the smoke is obscuring the action, but there is no action here. Then this happens. Yeah, she's laying on a tarp with a little bit of dirt on it. What the Franco? Donnie realizes that the zombies burn up faster than vinyl Halloween costumes. They go from not on fire to completely engulfed in under a second. Will he use this to his advantage? You bet he will. And these zombies just vanish. Sure, let's just roll with that. As the sun rises over the oasis, Donnie and his girlfriend have survived. Will they find treasure? Will Jess Franco ever get to make another film? Who cares? And with just minutes left in the movie, here comes Clarence of Arabia. Great timing.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I mainly found myself.
Fantastic. People are dead, but you went on a voyage of personal discovery. I think the price was totally worth it. Then they head back to civilization. I think the Jeep is stuck. Are we gonna have to climb into the movie and push? Like sand through the hourglass, so are the oases of our zombies. And that's Jess Franco's Oasis of the Zombies. Like most of Franco's films, you can't really call it good, but I'll be damned if it's not entertaining in its ineptitude. The funny thing about Franco is that he wasn't a terrible filmmaker. He just phoned it in a lot, and Oasis of the Zombies is definitely an example of Franco mostly just going through the motions. But enough about that. Is Oasis of the Zombies splattery enough to earn a 5 barf bag rating? Let's go to the gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, Oasis of the Zombies fails to deliver. We get some basic zombie mayhem, a pen stabbing, a couple bites, and some walking corpses, but that's about it. I can't give this movie more than a 1 barf bag rating, but that doesn't mean it's not worth checking out. This one might be light on the splatter, but it's still fun if you like bad movies. Looking for a movie with more zombie mayhem? Then be sure to check out my review of Zombie 3. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka The Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters.